Hello there. In this video, we're gonna compare the counter steering assistance. I hear lots of things talking bad about counter steering assistance, that it doesn't help the car rotate and it's not good, it's a waste of time. So I decided to experiment for 2 weeks using the counter steering assistance, weak, strong and off. So I went in, on and off. So I hope you really enjoy this comparison. And first, I think it's very important to explain to you what this system does. For example, when you're turning and steering the car, sometimes the rear end gets loose. So to avoid rotating the car too much or just sliding away and hitting the barrier, you have to counter steer the car so you can stabilize the rear end and continue your race without serious consequences. But if you're like me, if you use the controller, it's not always easy and simple to control the car just using this tiny thing here. Okay, so if you have the wheel, I just want to say that I envy you, okay, and you are a superior human being, congratulations. But like for mere mortals like me, it's very important to have an assistance. So I really wanted to test if it's good or if it's bad by myself, and at the end of the video we're gonna say if it's good, worth it or not. Okay, so please pay attention. First we're gonna use a very tricky car to drive, and then I'm gonna use the most stable car on the Gran Turismo history so we can really understand how it works and if it's worth it or not. Okay, hope you enjoyed this comparison and let's do this. So we can have a baseline for a test. Let's first test the kart without traction control. Why the kart? Because the kart for me was the hardest car in Gran Turismo to steer. It's very unpredictable and wants to slide on the first corner. When I have my foot down on the throttle, it wants to slide like crazy. So it was very hard for me to counter steer it by myself. So let's just establish a baseline. But I have to say to you, if you take a look at the right corner of my screen, I already have my record. I established the record with traction control, but without the counter steer assistance. But to have a better grip on, and pun intended, better grip of the system, I'm gonna turn off the traction control so we can have more than a feel and notice better what it does. And please pay attention to the last corner. The last corner of this circuit, this track, is very tricky. It's very easy to slide. So let's try now the counter assistance system on weak. Okay, level 1 weak. Actually doing some laps, I just slide the car, like hitting the curb, I slide the car, so that's why I'm restarting the test. Just remember one thing, okay? When you see the white icon like on the bottom right corner of the tachometer, as you can see right beneath the number 16, when the system is activated, it turns red. Okay, so let's just pay attention to the button, to the icon, and every time I want to say to you what I was doing on the wheel, so we can think if the system is working or am I doing some magic trick or not. Okay, please pay attention. Did you notice that the cart started to slide down but it just locked in? Pay attention again. The car started to slide down. I was predicting the car how to adjust the cart, but the system helped me a lot, so I could adjust the cart real quick without too much effort. And of course I just have to say, please look at the ghost in my in front of our cart, like without any driver, so that's kind of creepy. But let's go now to test the counter steering assistance strong. Okay, let's see if I have any like big difference to it. Coming on first corner, no problem. As you can see, it's very easy to drive the kart, but as I put on strong mode, it's activating way more than when it's weak. Let's just look how it handles the curbs, no problem at all. But let's see now the trickiest corner of the track. I come in as usual as always, but the kart stabilizes itself and I can punch through the corner like crazy. I felt like invincible when I felt that. And I just come in and do a 43,515, almost my record. So that made me want to go again, but go even harder, okay? So let's just check how it handles with me going even harder and trusting more the counter steering assistance. Now I have to say one thing to you. The counter steer assistance doesn't do any magic, but it helps you, especially us controller gamers. As you can see, again, I just punch through the corner without a problem, okay? It's like a magic. But now you may be thinking, but simple, every pro player doesn't use counter steering assistance, so why are you talking good about counter steer assistance? First, I'm gonna show you when it's not good to have the counter steering assistance, okay? Just hold on a minute. But second, they are pro players, they have wheels. And also, as you can see, just pay attention to the next corner, okay? I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna force the car to turn in and the car slides down like crazy, okay? So it's not magic like per se, like it's not a miracle. It's magical, but it's not a miracle, okay? You still need to do something. You still need to do some input. And as you can see again, I just smashed the corner and rage quit. But now let's try another car. This time I want to show you what happens when you take the counter steering assistance, put it on strong, but now it's a very controllable car, slow car. And of course, this allows me to talk to you more than with the kart, because the kart was 40-second laps, okay? Coming in with the Hachiroku Toyota Trueno 86. Of course, I had to get the 86. I tried the Levin, but the Levin just not works for me, okay? Not works for me. But please, let's go back to the comparison. Now, I'm trying to corner the car. I just want the car to rotate, because this car is very easy to control. As you can see, my record is 1 minute 8 seconds 551. Again, I'm not a pro player, so I just want tricks that help me drive even faster, okay? But unfortunately, the counter steering is cutting me. It's important to have this big car to rotate. If it doesn't rotate, unfortunately, I can't drive fast. Especially in Suzuka. Suzuka is very tricky to drive. Now I'm just pulling in the wheel as strong as I can. Of course, my controller, as strong as I can, even though the car just go out of track. Okay, so I just couldn't. I think my best time was just 109, so impossible to beat my record without traction control and without counter steering assistance. So my final thoughts on the subject of the use of the counter steering assistant is: if you are having a hard time to control a car, especially like group 3 cars, very snappy, difficult to handle, just try the counter steering assistance. Start with weak. If you still have a hard time, just try and see how it handles on strong, okay? Especially because sometimes the traction control works worse than the counter steering assistance, because you don't lose the power with the counter steering assistance. Then again, it's best to use the counter steering assistance with FR cars, rear based traction, okay? Because the cars go like crazy. If you use with FF cars, like front wheel drive, it's kinda hard because you need the car to rotate. So it's like up to you, okay? And of course, stop listening to the guys on the internet that says the counter steering assistance is bad, only newbies use it. I think you have to use what is best for you and what helps you win. And as you can see in my video here, I could win using the traction control off, but the counter steering assistance on. Okay, if you want to check my first win in Gran Turismo 7, just look at this video and of course subscribe. Bye bye.